Moving on to Indonesia now, and a horrible episode that happened almost a century ago. In 1965, mobs fearful of the growing power of Indonesia's Communist Party began a purge. They were orchestrated by the country's military. The gangs attacked party members and anyone suspected of communist sympathies. They also targeted the ethnic Chinese minority in Indonesia. At least 500,000 people were killed, many brutally. An extraordinary documentary called The Act of Killing stars several of the death squad leaders. American filmmaker Joshua Oppenheimer has won 24 awards for The Act of Killing. Here's an excerpt.
Pekong 5, inilah di tempatnya di. Aku bilang itu darah, kantor darah.
Jadi double perasaan. Ini antara ganjang Cina sama ganjang mertua. Tikam juga. Karena Cina juga.
Anwar Kongo bersama teman-temannya mengembangkan suatu sistem baru yang lebih efisien dalam menumpas komunis, yaitu sebuah sistem yang manusiawi, kurang sadis, dan juga tidak menggunakan kekerasan berlebihan. Tapi ada juga langsung disikat habis saja ya Pak, nggak usah disiksa dulu.
Born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows, born free to follow your heart.
Kalau sukses kita bikin ini film, penilaian satu sejarah berbalik. Bukan 180, 360 derajat itu berbalik. Itu definisi kejahatan perang, itu buatan orang yang menang. Saya pemenang, saya mesti bikin juga definisi kejahatan perang.
Kita butuh preman yang melaksanakan jalan Pancasila.
Bayangin di gelap gulita ini, kita hidup itu seperti dunia hampir kiamat.
We spoke to Joshua Oppenheimer on Skype. First, we asked him how he managed to get these killers to talk. Were they ashamed of what they did?
So I didn't have to do anything to get them to open up. And indeed, the film, both its method and the final film, is a response to their openness, my effort to understand why they're open, for whom are they boasting, how do they want to be seen by the world, and how ultimately do they see themselves. I think, in fact, in reality, they are all ashamed of what they've done. But I think because they've never been removed from power, because they've been in power ever since they killed, they've never been forced to admit what they've done is wrong.
That's fascinating. As you mentioned, the central character is a man called Anwar Congo. How did he feel after he saw the movie?
Anwar was very moved by the film. He was tearful. He was quiet for a long time after he saw the film. But finally, he said, "Josh, this film shows what it is like to be me. And I'm grateful to finally have had the chance to talk openly about what this has meant, what this really means to me, what this really means to my society."
That's extraordinary that I guess it was almost a cathartic experience for Anwar, it sounds like. What impact has this documentary had in Indonesia? Did it get much play in theaters?
Well, Indonesia bans films dealing with human rights violations. And so we knew if we wanted to release the film in Indonesia, we took great pains to avoid provoking a ban from the national film censor, because we knew if the film is banned, it becomes a crime to show the film at all. And once it's criminal to show the film, that's an excuse for the paramilitary groups that you see in the film or for the army to physically attack screenings and with impunity. And so to avoid that, we knew we had to build up very serious high-level support for the movie before we started screening it widely. So last autumn, we held screenings, 1 year ago, we held screenings at the National Human Rights Commission in Jakarta. And I think it's fair to say that everybody who saw the film was deeply moved by it and said that everyone in Indonesia should see this film.
All right, well, thanks very much, Joshua Oppenheimer, for joining us. Joshua Oppenheimer is creator of the documentary The Act of Killing. It's about the massacre of leftists and others in Indonesia nearly half a century ago.
Now on U.S. airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.